What is up, everyone? Mandy here. So super excited to bring you this video. It's a little different than normal, still racing related, immensely racing related here, but really excited to share this with you. I figured for the award that I am receiving, that how can I not videotape this and share it with you guys of, everything that Fred and all of his historians have built. So with that being said, I'm gonna head over to the shop, meet Fred, and yeah, I'm gonna receive my first award, guys. How freaking cool is that?
Well, I'm here at the Billy Pauch Racing Shops, representing ARRA, Auto Racing Research Associates, and we like to dedicate an annual award named over one of our founding members, Bill Hanna, who has passed away. And in an effort to honor him, we've named the annual Bill Hanna Passion and Dedication Award. And we started it last year in 2020 and awarded it to Andy Belmont. And we award it to a person that we determined has a high level of dedication and passion to our sport of auto racing. And just getting this presentation set up is kind of an example of why our award winner this year is getting the award, because we just couldn't align our schedules. She is so busy trotting around the Northeast documenting the driving careers of her dad and her brother and now her fiance, Mike. And it just exhibits how dedicated and how much passion she has for the sport. And all of our historians at ARRA thought it would be quite appropriate to present Mandee Pauch with our 2021 Bill Hanna Passion and Dedication Award, and we think it's very appropriate. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm ecstatic. I mean, this is the first award I have ever received, other than maybe in kindergarten for graduating.
And that was a long stretch.
Yeah. But this is amazing, especially being in honor of Bill Hanna, and the passion dedication is definitely exactly what these videos are all about in the sport. And I mean, to get it from you guys, which I'm sure we'll give a little background story on it, an amazing award, especially be my first one.
That's great, and we're glad that it is your first. Nobody else can be first. Nobody else can be first, and we like I said, we all thought it was quite an appropriate award for yourself, seeing that you just globe-trotting all over the place. And I know it was a passion and you lived it growing up, but in your adult life, you're making it a big part of your life.
Still here.
Yeah, I know. I don't think you're going to get away from it.
No. And I mean, if this is the perfect example of, growing up in it, we've got BP3 over here. Hopefully,
the cameraman.
Hopefully he's recording this. You're doing a great job, Billy. So, yeah, it's passion, dedication, absolutely. I mean, this sport, it's got the highs and the lows, and to be able to stick to it. And growing up in it, you know that, but to, like we said, just to stay in it and to hopefully bring some youngsters into it.
Yeah, some of the future, right there behind the camera. Hopefully.
I don't know if he's even paying attention.
He's concentrating on keeping us in focus.
He's doing a great job. Are your arms tired yet, Billy? You're doing good?
He's concentrating.
Well, thank you, Fred. This is an honor to receive.
Thank you. You're very welcome, and I do thank you for allowing me time. I have wanted to get the story of ARRA, a little of how we even came about, so I appreciate you allowing me to take this time to get that story out. And actually, I think, as I explained to you, the real genesis of ARRA started with your dad.
It did.
And to really go back to the very beginning, in high school, in my junior year, which was 75, which I think exactly aligned with your dad's beginning in the sport, I went to my local newspaper in Lambertville, where I grew up in my hometown, Lambertville, New Jersey, to a quaint little newspaper, independent, called The Beacon. It was a weekly paper that came out on Wednesdays, and I asked them, hey, could I cover the Flemington Speedway for you? And we try to get credentials, and their people don't know what they're doing. They said, if you can get credentials, we'll give you column space. So I ended up doing that, and for like 20 years, I wrote for the Beacon.
Wow.
Until they moved on. It came to an end, but at that time, I moved on to writing for Gator News. But anyhow, their main thing, they told me, if you're going to write a column for us, we want local interest. And I said, well, you know what? There's a young guy right up the road in Stockton getting started at Flemington. You can't get much more local than that. And they said, great, focus. And I did. I really paid attention to Billy, going through his rookie, winning every week in the rookie. I mean, he, right out of the gate, got successful. And I just stuck following your dad's career, became my favorite driver pretty quickly. And so that's where I got my start. I followed him. And around 94 or 95, I forget, it was mid-90s, I started doing the calculating in my head. I said, boy, he's got to be getting up there 500 wins. So I sat down, added some track totals, and I started researching all his wins. And I think when I completed it at that time, I think he was around 460 something. Yeah, it was the George Wingate Memorial that I wanted to have it so when he got to his 500th win, it could be appropriately celebrated because it's a big point. And we did that at the George Wingate Memorial. I forget the year, but it was in Bridgeport, and I happened to be there. That was great. I happened to be in as a matter of fact, up in the trophy room, there's a picture of that night in Victory Lane with me, Kenny, if you remember Kenny, and young Bill. Yep. And so it started from there. While I was doing your dad's career win list, another eventual founder of ARRA, Bill Braga, contacted me because he had been doing it longer. He was putting together a win list for Doug Hoffman. Oh, okay. And he wanted that for his dad, great guy, Bill Braga Sr. He was going to present it to him for his birthday, so he asked me for help because time was getting thin. And that's how we started collaborating with each other, doing various drivers. We eventually got on a Canadian-based website of racing stats. That kind of fell off the wayside. He didn't keep it up to date, so we decided, me and Bill had a lunch meeting and decided we're going to start our own website. I had no idea about how to do it. As it turns out, it wasn't that hard. And we got started that way. And after a little while, Steve Barrett came into play because he had so many programs all over the place. And Bill Hanna got involved because he had so many Flemington stats. And just a short while after that, Bill Skinner from Mullica Hill, a longtime historian, he came on board and we formed the 5 original founding members of ARRA. And from there, it just grew. With the website, I realized the real potential of it. Right. I mean, it opens up to the world. And so we like I said, we had our original 5 members, and we decided, as with everything, we had guys out on the perimeter, knowing guys up in the southern tier area, this area, that area, that had stats on their area. They kind of knew them, and we decided to grow. We did it slowly, 1 or 2 members at a time, but at this point now we've grown to, I believe it's 28 historians, myself included, across the country. And we just recently decided to expand from a Northeast-based focused website to national. We've taken on guys. We just took on a gentleman named Bob Marcos. His son actually works for Dirty Mo Productions with Dale Earnhardt. He's one of the production crew. But Bob Marcos Sr. is a big late model expert. He was actually with the National Late Model Hall of Fame. And he just recently submitted, which was one of my goals, was to get Scott Bloomquist's career wins. So Scott Bloomquist is on there. I had a goal. I wanted 3 drivers, really. Started out with 2, Bob McCready and Richie Evans. And when I got Scott Bloomquist from Bobby Marcos, I was over the moon, because I had actually tried to see if there was available stats for Scott. I couldn't find them. But we're now, I'm looking for special guys. Like I said, Bob Marcos does our late models. We brought on Tom Schmay, who was the curator at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. He's one of our historians. Kevin Eckert, obviously, with the World of Outlaws, he's a sprint car expert. So I'm trying to diversify and have guys that specialize in different divisions. And we even have guys that are specialized in tracks. We have guys that are specified with Oswego, Flemington, Orange County. There's so many of them. But yeah, this grew into a monster. I probably average.
Hey, girlfriend, where you going? Hi.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't know me. So during the height of the season, when everybody's running, I get most of my stats out of Area Auto, and when that comes, usually around 2 or 3 in the afternoon at my home, I immediately get into that. Wednesday night is my website updating time, and I'll go to 9 or 10 at night. It's a 6-hour job. This time of year, as I explained earlier, with all the tracks closing after Labor Day, it's about an hour, but I average 20 to 30 hours a week on the ARRA website. But I'm retired, and I've been going to the races since 5. In 1963, my grandfather started bringing me to Flemington, and I haven't stopped, and racing's given me so much. I just consider this giving back the love.
Absolutely.
It's provided me with so many exciting times. Your dad, thankfully, for a lot of them, but great friends. We had our wedding before the racing season started because if we did it during the racing season, half of the guests wouldn't have been there. So we had to have it before the racing season started. But racing's provided me with so much. I've decided to dedicate a lot of my retirement to this auto racing research.
And I always remember before you became what you have, the website itself is, I always remember Dad would be like, oh, just check Fred's website. Fred has everything. And I'm like, okay. And you guys, so much stats. And you guys just added Mike onto their research too.
Yes.
Which is amazing. It's a lot of work and a lot of effort. And like you said, you have to update it constantly.
Every week.
And all the drivers that you have, it's incredible the work you do.
Yeah, and sometimes things just fall in your lap. My wife and I went up to Speedway Racer reunion back in August. We were invited up, and it just happened that Jeff Hetzel was there with his son, and they stopped by our display, and his son had a bunch of stats for his dad. I said, that would be a great starting point for me. I didn't have to start from scratch. He gave me all the directions as to where to look track-wise, and it was a big help. And I'm just about a few days away from wrapping Jeff Hetzler's stuff up. In the course of that, I had to do about 20 more years worth of research on Ackard because I didn't have that time frame that Jeff did a lot of his winning. But I'm wrapping up that. I'm doing 1 or 2 more. There's an Orange County driver that I'm currently working on, and a back project that is when I have the time. I'm looking to document the complete weekly history of URC. There's not a complete history. There's what history is there, I understand, is a little wrong here and there. So that's a long-term project that I'm working on right now to try to get a fully documented history of URC. I think that started back in, if I'm not mistaken, 1948. But so there's always something. I am always working on something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And everyone, how can they find your website?
Well, you know what? It's a Google website. It kind of has a long address, but if you want to just go and Google ARRA Research, I think is enough. Or ARRA Racing Research, that should bring you right to us. Once you get there, bookmark it, and you just got to go to your bookmark.
Yeah. You guys have a lot of stuff in there, and thank you for explaining that. You guys...
I'm very good. I've always wanted to tell the story, and I've never done that. So thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you. Thank you for, the recognition. And I'm excited that
Certainly will.
we had BP3 here to videotape this.
We're starting his career as a cameraman.
Great. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Well-deserved award.
Thank you. Cameraman, I appreciate you videotaping that.
Man, you're on a hot streak at Georgetown,
Did it all right?
brother.
Oh, really
Did you
good,
enjoy it?
man. Really good.
You did good. Did you keep it nice and steady? Thank you. And then we got this little blabbermouth down here. You're doing an awful lot of talking, princess. She can walk. Yes, she can. To the chair.
So we'll see what happens. We need one Get one big one this weekend. That next week won't be good again.
So have to give a huge thank you to ARRA and Fred and Kim and everyone over there. You know, you guys do amazing work. I mean, a lot that doesn't really get recognized or, you know, applauded, and I hope everyone that watches this, you head over to the website, you know, you give them the good credit that's due. I mean, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work keeping up with the stats and the fact checking and all that stuff. And of course, a special shout out to my cameraman over here. Hey, BP.
Play basketball.
Yeah, you are. So, have to thank everyone, you know, all of you guys for the continued support. You know, I probably wouldn't have gotten the award, right, if it wasn't for you guys and, you know, pushing us through all of this. So huge thank you to all of you guys. Special thanks to, you know, Fred, Kim, everyone over there. You know, it is very not just appreciative, but it means a lot. There goes the basketball hoop. It, you know, to just in this sport, a lot of people don't get recognized, you know, for everything that goes into it, and to get recognized for it, I am completely honored. Literally puts tears to my eyes. So again, thank you guys so much. I am so honored and so privileged, and I promise to keep these videos coming, the realness of what we do. So thank you guys, appreciate you, love you all. Make sure like the video, subscribe to the channel. You're going through the hoop? What are you doing? This is what we've been dealing with.
I'm going through my basketball hoop.
You're doing a great job. Between him, my brother, and Avery and Fred, it was quite the production team that we had to make this video happen. So hopefully our cameraman kept the camera pretty steady. And yeah, it is. Yeah, so we're gonna head in and get some dinner. But yeah, so make sure to come back, guys. Got a lot planned for the off season for all of you, and to keep these videos coming. So until then, love you all. Say
I scored.
bye.
Bye, I scored.
Nice job.